I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Once we get our spot and once we figure out where they're at, I think we're gonna get 3 fish over 18 inches today. So the nice thing is, if that doesn't work out, I just edit this part out and I don't sound like I know what I'm doing. But if it does work out, look out. I don't know if my head's gonna fit in this hat. Morning everybody, Mike from FisherMN here. It's that time of the year where I should adjust my alarm a little bit. It's still pretty dark, but you know what? We're all set. We got everything loaded up. Sun's gonna be coming up in a few minutes. We're gonna go out on this lake. We're gonna start with topwater. We're gonna move to the chatterbait, and we're gonna move to the jig. We're gonna see what can catch the most fish today. Let's go fishing. There's nothing like being one of the first people on the water, if not the first person of the day. Hopefully I'll get you some grainy footage of some nice largemouth. It's going to be a while before my camera does a good job in this low light. That's okay. Nice to be out here. Just in case, I do have the buzzbait hooked up. Just in case I want something a little bit louder this morning. Getting a few more days of fishing in. I actually had a meeting at school yesterday, but it's all good. Nice to be starting another school year. Happy that I get my summers to fish. Still be getting out on weekends, and maybe once in a while right after school I'll get out too. Buzzbait's kind of a good bait to see how active they are. Get a couple of bites on buzzbait, you know they're rocking and rolling a little bit today. Going between 2 points here, it gets super shallow, but just around here is where I usually get some fish, where it kind of drops off depending on the wind. Today there's no wind, so I'm hoping there's a few fish just kind of shallow, looking for an easy meal. Might be one of those days where I get done throwing around here and it gets light out and I'm like, why am I fishing in this stuff? Looks pretty scummy. I was kind of hopeful at the landing, it didn't look too bad. So I'm gonna fish it to the back to the landing, get my sunglasses, and as the sun comes up, we shall fish in a different direction. All right, how about a reset? Already did one swing around here. Decided to maybe go a different way. We go this way today. So I realized I forgot my sunglasses. Went back to the car to get my sunglasses. Took care of a couple other things and whew, got some pea soup coming through here. Whew. See if we can find some clear area here. Looks like the other side of the lake might be all right. But man, what an algae bloom. As we've been doing this summer, yes, we're bass fishing, but if we go over a bunch of marks, we gotta see what they are. So I marked a spot when we came in here and it was just full of what looked like fish marks. Yeah, everything down there. Let's see what we got. There we go. What have we got? And why did we... Darn it. There we go. All right. Nice one. Looks like he was attacked by something. It's a darn right good sunfish. Skunks out of the boat. All right, we got a little guy. There we go. Multi-species angler. Got a little bass here. Go for a process today. Get the skunk out of the boat and start getting some big guys in. Oh. Hope that's a sunfish. Maybe a bass? What do we got? What have we got? Oh yeah. Decent bass. For an ultralight. Alright, fun on an ultralight. It's a good way to find out what's around. Put down a little yellow jig. There we go. How different this lake looks. My dad took me here when I was probably still high school, maybe even middle school. Some guys at work had told him about it. And I'm right on the drop here where it's starting to drop down. And this lake used to be ringed with lily pads. I remember my dad got a big fish on right by the lily pads here. And it got off right by the boat. We never did see what it was. But that was a pretty cool thing to see. Such a big fish taking drag and everything, so. But how the lake has changed. And how our fishing has changed too. Now I just marked a bunch of panfish, so what do? We take out the yellow. We toss it back. And let's see if we can get one of those panfish that Dad and I were looking for 35 years ago. There we go, that one took it. There we go. Found one of those panfish we were looking for so many years ago. And that's why, look at that guy. Wow. What a fish. And that's why they get so big, they get out. Wow. There we go. Hey, how about another species? Fourth species in the boat. The yellow catches everything. Let's see, so far we've caught bass, crappie, sunfish, and a perch on the yellow. I think we will find some bass today, but until then, let's have some fun with some panfish. the morning, early morning I should say, because we're still in morning. Let's see what time we got. I'm guessing 9:03. Time flies. Early morning bite didn't really come out the way we wanted it to. Took a chance coming over to a different area than I usually start in. So now we're going to go back to our usual bass area where we've never fished a jig. And I think it's going to be key today once we find some drops and areas where there's fish. I'm going to make a bold prediction. Once we get our spot and once we figure out where they're at, I think we're going to get 3 fish over 18 inches today. So the nice thing is, if that doesn't work out, I just edit this part out and I don't sound like I know what I'm doing. But if it does work out, look out. I don't know if my head's going to fit in this hat. I just have a feeling that this jig is going to be the way to go. We'll still try other things. We got some deep water where we're going to fish. Possible lily pads. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna fish this little channel because there's been fish in there before. If it was busy, I definitely wouldn't be fishing in here, but I don't think anybody else wants to fish in pea soup today like I do. Well, summer 2022, the summer of no camera on. I don't know if it's because there's been so much time in between fish or what, but oh my goodness, having a hard time getting these guys on film. Maybe it seems like I'm going to other boats and getting fish or something, but hey, look at this guy. At least we can get a nice picture of him. Nice. He's got that jig right in the corner of the mouth. Fishing some shallow clumps here. We're on a shore that's still kind of shady. I said if we figure out a pattern, maybe we could get 3 18 inchers in the boat. I think this is our first. Let's check it out. We've got our catch board this year. I always get it wet first. Make sure we're recording. Ooh, that's a nice one. We got 18 and a half, a little bit over. And this guy is thick. All right, another jig fish. I just, you know, sometimes when I move spots, I'll turn my camera off to conserve a little bit. I don't know what it is, but I apologize. I've been missing a few fish this summer if you've been watching my videos. But the good thing is, we got a bass in the boat. And man, he just nailed that black and blue jig. So let's see if we can come up with a little bit of a pattern where we get some on a jig. Here's another one. It's getting bigger as it comes in. Wow. All right. I thought it was like a medium one. This is a nice fish again. Boom. Number 2 on the jig. That's good to know that they can be in there a little bit. Not the best hook set, but we got them. Let's see, let's see. wet. I'm on the board. And we are 18 again. All right. 18-inch largemouth. Second one over 18. As you can see, we've got our medium heavy jig rod with a 7.1 gear ratio reel. We've got a 3/8 ounce black skirted jig. This one happens to have a little rattle on the back, and a Pit Boss black and blue fleck, and it's working. Holding up for that 20 plus incher. There's a fish. Not a 20 incher, but a nice one. Oh, it's a... I might take those words back. Man, we're getting them few and far between, but when we get them, we're getting nice ones. Right in the top of the roof of the mouth. Another great fish. Let's get him on the board and see how long he is. He is mouth open, 19 and a half, with that kind of funky tail. Mouth closed, about 19. There we go. Right where you'd expect him to be. We got the wind blowing across this point. Put the jig on, catch a big fish. Let's go. That was our first fish on our new cross style trailer. Nice big old flippers there. Maybe that calls up the big ones. Scratching out a day. Got 2 on that shore. When we came into this area, I said I was hopeful to get 3 over 18. Well, we got 3 over 18. I also did mention that we could get a 20 incher, so let's see if we can accomplish that. It just makes sense that they'd be feeding, waiting for something to come be washed across here. And that fish just proved my point. There we go. All right. Shall net them. Just seems like there may be fish all over, but the fish here are feeding. So that's my theory. There we go. Secret's out. Little guy, future 20 incher. So just about putting yourself in that position to have the best chance to catch a fish. And I think that this wind coming through here is our best chance. Well, it's been a kind of a grind of a day, but a fun day of fishing. I got here super early, casted around in the dark pretty much. Thought, oh my gosh, the whole lake is just a pile of scum, because there was no wind and tons of algae. So I went to another section of the lake that was a little bit more clear and did my best there to find some bass and panfish. I found a couple of really nice sunfish, but the big bass just weren't biting. So I came back over this way, and there's a fish. decided to commit to finding some bass. Had a goal of 3 bass of 18 inches or more. Definitely got them. Got 2 on that shoreline, and I got the 19 incher right in between those 2 points there. So a fun day to accomplish that on a slow day. And then in between I've been fishing for some panfish. It's been a long day out here. I got up at 4:15 a.m. and got here probably 45 minutes before sunup. I'm headed north tomorrow. I've got one last hurrah before school starts, and so I'm really hoping for some good bass fishing and just fishing in general. Every day on the water is a great day, and I appreciate you watching this video. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next one.